clicker. Alright, seems like we're good to go. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is student Dr. Malachi Wright, and I am an incoming D1 at the University of Maryland School of Dentistry. And in today's video, I'm going to be discussing how I obtained and maintained a 3.97 cumulative GPA during my undergraduate career. Yes, that is correct, a 3.97 GPA. And for a disclaimer, I am not an individual who's always just had a high GPA or who he's just incredibly smart and he's just like totally different, like I can never be like him. Like, that's definitely not me. In fact, I used to be on the other side of that coin. I used to think that about a lot of other individuals, and honestly, for many cases, I still do. I'm an individual who graduated high school with like a 3.2 GPA. I didn't have any AP, IB, whatever those credits were called. I didn't take any biology courses or science courses until close to my sophomore year of college. So I'm definitely an individual who did not have the quote-unquote background to be built to succeed in this diaspora of life. But nevertheless, we still succeed because we conquer and we make sure that we make it happen by any means necessary that is ethical, of course, like the late, great Malcolm X. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing how I was able to obtain and maintain that GPA by giving you all 4 tips that I use on a daily basis to help me maintain a high GPA, get A's in all of the 11 biology courses that I took in college, get A's in all of the chemistry courses that I took in college, and all of the other courses, education courses, the English courses I didn't get A's in. I got a B in one English course and a B in sociology. Those are only 2 B's that I have, a B in sociology and a B in English 1010. So that's definitely hurt my soul. But nevertheless, that was first semester, so we learn from our mistakes. So stay tuned in this video to learn exactly how I was able to maintain the GPA. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share these videos with a friend who you think will find this video helpful. Thank you so much for all your support. Again, I strive to make these videos to help individuals who are going into any form of medical profession to help them realize their potential and to reach their potential in undergrad, and hopefully reach their potential, the highest level potential while in dental school or further endeavors. You know, a lot of the content and a lot of the information I elucidate on my channel is to help you grow as an individual, not so necessarily just as a dental student or a medical student. And you guys will see more of this as I implement videos about my vlogs from my girlfriend who's in PT school, with my twin brother who is in law school, and a couple of other content or other videos we may be making in the near future. So stay tuned for those. So I promised you all 4 tips that I was going to give you in order to provide you with an idea of how you can maintain a high GPA while you're in college. Now, to give you all some context, I started off college, my first semester, not too hot. I had an overall GPA of 3.3. I withdrew from my pre-calculus class, and that's where I got those 2 B's. I realized that I was going to be the only individual who can make my dreams a reality while reminiscing on how much my parents and my loved ones have done for me, trying to get me and my other 7 siblings through elementary school, middle school, and high school, with my dad being the only one who worked for majority of my life until I was about 15 or 16 years old. And he worked as a high school teacher at JFK. And just seeing his sacrifice, seeing my parents both sacrifice, my mom as a stay-at-home mom, definitely motivated me to strive to be the best that I could be. So after my first semester, where I realized that, you know, my mom didn't have anything to give me, my dad didn't have anything to give me, or my grandma, auntie, whatever it is, they all had fantastic words of inspiration that got me through a lot of the hardships in my life, but nothing tangible to give me, like a house or a car or anything of that nature. You guys know what I'm talking about. So I knew that whatever reality I wanted to make for myself and for my future, I would have to cultivate it by myself. So when I came to that reality, I realized the position that I was in, being at community college on full scholarship, and that I would be able to seize every opportunity that came my way if I made sure that I stayed consistent, on task, and prioritized my schooling. And that's one of the messages that my dad elucidated all the time, and it really stuck. So my first tip, number one, in order for you to maintain a high GPA while you're in college, you need a planner. Whether it be a planner that you write down or you jot down notes on, or something that is virtual, or something that is on a computer, whatever it is, you're going to need a planner where you can write down a list of all the classes that you're taking for that semester. Again, we want to take things a semester at a time, day at a time, hour at a time on our planner. So what I would do is I would write down all of the subjects that I had, not just for that day, but all of the subjects that I was taking. So if I was taking a biochemistry class, and if I was taking a biology class and a couple of elective courses, I would write all those courses down on my schedule for the day. And then I would schedule it to where I was touching or studying for every single course, every single day, regardless of if I had that class that day or not. I would write down exactly what course it was. I would write down what I wanted to study for that day, how long I wanted to study for it, and when I was going to study for it. And by organizing my schedule like that every single morning, I was able to optimize my time, finish my work somewhat early, and be able to figure out what I was going to do for the next day and stay ahead and never behind. That's one of the biggest things. You want to make sure that you have your planner and that you're organized so that you stay ahead of the game and never behind the game, because then that's how you run into trouble. So after I had my planner planned out, I made number two, the second point, which was figuring out exactly how I learn. And for me, I used a mixture between Anki and Quizlet to study for majority of my biology classes. And for my chemistry classes, I took a lot of the practice problems that my professors provided me with, and some practice problems from the books, especially for organic chemistry, to do practice problems, draw synthesis reactions, and make sure I knew exactly what was going on. Now, for the classes where I had to do a lot of practice problems, I would usually write out the answers to these practice problems on a big whiteboard that my school offered. And I'll post some pictures of these drawings that I had in this video. But when I was drawing out all of those structures, I realized that it really helped me when I would color coordinate things, and I would, draw them out on a whiteboard. And it was really fun because I would just watch YouTube and do questions on the board, and the time went by super fast. So make sure that you find a study tactic and a study method that works best for you. And I would say it's really great to explore these study tactics while you're taking your first year courses, because you want to make sure that there are courses that are not really high risk. I mean, all courses are high risk, but something that's a little easier to kind of get yourself into and learn how to study before you get into some of the harder level courses. But even if you are in the harder level courses right now, this is something that you can still do for the first couple of weeks of school. Make sure that you figure out how you want to study, and then quiz yourself so that you can see tangible results of if that study method is working or not. So what I would do is I would go to all of the practice tests or practice exams or practice questions that my professors had, and I would do all of them. And if I had any questions, I would go into the office hours and I would ask them about the question that I had and make sure that I understood the content. During my class time, I would use that time to listen and take notes, but the way I took notes were different than how a lot of students took notes. So instead of like copying down literally everything that the professor was saying, or like highlighting stuff that was on the lecture slides or whatever it was, I would write down questions that I had about the content while we were learning it. So questions that I could quiz myself on. So like say if I had a question about the synthesis of chymotrypsin in biochemistry, I will write down a question that I could ask myself that the teacher or the professor already answered, but would somewhat trip me or I wasn't really that comfortable with. I think the biggest aspect behind studying is making sure that you study stuff that you're uncomfortable with until it gets to a point where you're comfortable with them. Because if you put yourself in a position where you're studying stuff that you're uncomfortable with, then you find yourself being comfortable with that content. The content that you're already comfortable with, you're still going to remain comfortable with it. So make sure you're putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation when you're studying, because it really promotes the most efficient form of studying. It really helps you expound upon the knowledge that you don't know and the stuff that you do know. Believe it or not, it really worked out for me well. For me, when it came to a lot of my heavy level courses, like the biologies, molecular biology, cell biology, anatomy, physiology, microbiology, zoology, botany, I had to take all those courses. And the best way that I studied for all those courses were using Quizlet. So I would go to the lecture, write down my questions that I wanted to ask myself that were difficult. I would put those questions with the answers into Quizlet by either A, using the lecture slides to help me, rewatching the lectures to help me find the answers to those questions, and then using the content that were on the slides and inputting that content onto the study deck in Quizlet or Anki. And I would go over those study decks during that day. So the same day that I made the deck, I would go over the deck. Then I would wait until the weekend to revisit that deck. And my golden rule is to definitely expose yourself to the content at least 3 times before you take the exam. All right, so for my 4th tip, and this was my 4th and final tip, I would definitely say when you're studying, at least for me, I like to reminisce on all the stuff that I had to go through to get to where I am today. And for everyone goes through something in life, whether it be minimal or whether it be something ginormous, whatever it is. Everyone has a reason behind why they're in school, why they're studying so hard, why they're either trying to go to med school, dental school, PA school, PT school, law school, whatever it is, trying to be a teacher, whatever it is. You're working towards a goal. You know your reason why you're working towards that goal. And if you don't know your reason why, then you better take some time to figure out your reason why. Because that reason why is going to motivate you to push yourself to the limit or to the potential that you never knew that you were able to obtain. At the end of the day, make sure that you have all your ducks lined up in a row. Make sure that you're using the study tactics that work best for you. Again, I never thought that I would be an individual who will be making a video talking about having high GPA in college, especially since I had extreme cases of imposter syndrome at times. And, you know, I hear a lot of individuals deem me to be extremely smart, but, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think myself to be a smart individual. I don't think of myself to be a smart individual. I think of myself to be the hardest worker in the room. Like, at the end of the day, I'm going to strive to live by a quote by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and strive to be the hardest worker in the room. So if you have that mentality every single day, and that doesn't come at the spite of other people. If you want to work hard, you're just going to work hard. So I just strove to be the hardest worker in the room, strove to never give up on myself, and that led me to having multiple acceptances to multiple dental medicine programs across the country, and led me to attending my dream school a year after learning how to walk again. So definitely a phenomenal experience, and one that I hope you all will be able to, you know, use this information to better your lives on a daily basis and to hold yourself accountable and make those dreams come true. So thank you so much for watching this video. New videos are to come every single week. I'm trying to stay as consistent as possible. For many of you all who know, my girlfriend did start PT school. So since she's in PT school, we're both in PT school. So we're trying to grind it out as much as we can. And again, look forward to those vlogs that my brother and I are going to be making. I'm going to be making some couples vlogs with my girlfriend and I while we're both in school. Again, like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos on my channel for more hopeful content, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.